Game 2. I don't know. BAE are going to be hungry after that.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to game 3. I will put all my channel points on this.
You think we
I
see
got
a full series, eh?
4.7K. Yeah, that'd be nice. Got nowhere to be. It's only 4 a.m. here in Korea, so it's not the end of the world.
Who needs time?
It is nice waking up really early for these games. I do enjoy watching them and I enjoy being here on the broadcast. So thank you guys for having me here.
No, it is always a pleasure. And here we go. The time has come. Pick bands are starting. Let's make sure I've got this loaded up correctly. Royal Air Force is now going to be on blue side. So a change up, obviously, team switch side between games. This is not surprising information. I don't know why I said it like it was, but you know.
Now, I mean, I'm thinking here that Royal Air Force wants to play via Ari, and they're gonna try to try to make sure that doesn't get banned at all. So we're gonna see them ban out other things that are bad for the Vi, because I think that's something big that they want. Let's see, so
Yeah,
we
the
get the
Vi.
Darius ban.
Okay, you know what? Can I just have a moment of vindication here? What did I say about the Zyra Volley Bear? What do you remember? Do you remember how that conversation went during the pick ban last time? And I thought that Volley Bear was going
Yeah,
to be the bigger decision maker than Zyra, and everybody, including chat, was like, "Excuse me, Zyra is the more efficient jungler." And I was like, "I don't know, I have feelings about this."
yeah. No, you did call that, so
It's the one thing that I successfully called. All right,
it's
so we
all
got
good.
more bans coming through. There we go. That's
Got the
going to be an
Ornn.
Ornn ban again.
Let's see. See, the Darius, I think, is the cover off the Darius mid, if I'm not mistaken. We did have some roster changes here. So from game 1 to game 2, believe we had some swaps for. Yeah, we do have some swaps on both teams. Um, crap. I don't have it on my notes of who played game 1. No. I have it further up, I think. Let's see.
So the Vi does get
Yes.
banned once again. Fully
Yep,
expected
so they're
here.
denying
And
that.
interestingly, the Jinx gets taken out as well. I think BAE played it in the last game. They don't want to have to face it in this one. It was a first pick for them. So banning it here makes sense if they think Royal Air Force can do, as much damage with her as they nearly did.
Yeah, I think the big Jinx is a big problem, especially if she gets
Yes.
ahead, gets excited, and just goes crazy in team
Yes.
fights. It's
I
amazing to
am
watch.
so excited. We have
Oh,
a
we get
Sejuani.
Sejuani!
We get Sejuani. I don't know if it's top. I don't know if it's jungle. I hope it's jungle. That way
It's
Mega can just be here and
should
chat
be
and cry. But we have it.
should
She
be
has not
jungle.
been banned. But you know who's coming back? You know who's coming back that I would not have expected?
Is it
Look
Zyra?
at this.
Zyra Ezreal.
It's Zyra.
Could. Ooh. So they have some
Is this
confidence in that
praise
Zyra
Zyra
jungle.
again? Yeah,
Could
do
be
you think it
Zyra
was just like
support.
a, hey, we don't feel like Prey played it, showed it off to its best ability, we got to give him a redemption arc? Is that what's happening here, or is this a support Zyra this time?
Well, we do have a swap on the supports. We're going from Alaudere to Pogriez. And so Pogriez is going to play support on this game, and I have no idea how to say this name. I'm not even going to attempt it or butcher it. It's GRR. Yes, she's playing in top lane instead of Pogriez. So
Gresh.
Gresh.
We have a great
Gresh.
clip of Mega. Gresh had an
Sivern.
amazing Lux moment in 2024 that made
Mm.
the trailer for this year. Now, the Sivir choice is interesting. Before the Sejuani was locked in, they actually hovered Ashe first pick. And elected to go for the Sejuani. Sejuani Nautilus is always a great combo. The Sivir as a counter to Ezreal, I like, but I need to
It's just
see.
a push in the wave.
Yeah,
They basically just want to say they want to shove that wave in as. Yeah, let's see. See if BAE picks a support here, or they pick jungle, or they pick mid. See if we can get some answers to where that Zyra actually is going to be. So we get the Braum. Ezreal Braum is a very good combination, especially when Braum's playing into Nautilus. It's basically almost the direct counter to it. So it's going to be great to see that lane matchup because the Ezreal Braum should do really well into the Sivir Nautilus. So the 2v2 matchup should
Okay.
be favored to BAE on
The
that answer.
Mordekaiser ban.
So they don't want. Interesting. So they're trying to cover off the AP tops. So they have something they have an idea for the top lane. You have the Narban on the other side, which is a great pick.
Yeah. And the Ahri. Of course, after the success of Royal Air Force's Ahri in the last game, it makes total sense for BAE wanting to remove that opportunity for her to snowball. BAE has the next pick. Do we think... What are we thinking?
You gotta have something prio in top lane. It's either gonna be they're probably gonna save top for counter.
Oh,
So we have Victor. They're probably gonna give top counter. Let's see, so yeah, top should have counter here, so it should be a pick.
This is a choice. That's actually a Victor for the red side. That's BAE Lions picking Victor. That should update shortly. I'm intrigued.
Makes sense with their comp doing that long range poke. They just want to basically say we're gonna stall out fights, disengage, get the whole Huawei. Gonna press a billion buttons at once and try to do some damage. It's a good lane matchup for the Huawei into the Victor, so can match the pushing potential of the Victor and also just to be able to isolate targets and poke you out from long range. So they're trying to match poke with poke here. So
again, RAF has picked a team where they just need to run forward.
Yep. And the nice thing is they have go buttons this time. Yep, they have go buttons this time in the Sivir ult, the Sejuani R, the Nautilus R, Nautilus hook. If we see Poppy, it's going to be interesting, but there's 3 dashes you can disengage with. And it's still just Poppy's just a good pick.
It's an Olaf.
Olaf top. Heck yeah.
It is a Broloff special right here.
Now that's going to be the fun thing to watch when if the Olaf gets ahead, we could see some crazy fights where he's just the equivalent of what Jinx would be. Get all excited and run around and just slap everyone in the face and go, I am Olaf. Whereas everyone says, Broloff. So he's going to be throwing axes in the top lane. It's a good matchup into the Shen. And he has the high possibility of the 2v1. So good side lane pressure, good team fighting capabilities, and being able to just go, I ignore everything that you throw at me, and I'm going to eat all the CC and just run forward at everyone. So, and a big call from Clen. Clen out there saying it's going to be an Olaf pick. Insane. Excited to see it. But I have no idea what's going on there. But no, I'm excited. I think the first actual champion I learned to play in League was Olaf, and the first skin I ever bought was Broloff, and that was back in Season 1. So the first champion I spent real money on. It's a fun champion to play.
There we go. All right. The pick bans are happening. We wait for the spectator delay. The time begins again. I believe in the League client. Brian, I
Yes.
do. I truly believe that Riot makes great games and beautiful clients on both PC and Mac for all players, even playing in EUS from North America. You know, I believe. I have faith. That's all I'm going to say.
Please, Rito. Please, Rito, don't crash. Oh no. But yeah.
All right, here we go. Bans are coming through. Sorry, I have many buttons going on here at the same time. Also, fun fact:
she's the master of buttons. The button pressure is all. So
you, how many monitors do you think there are in front of you? Specifically in front of me, not including the ones behind me.
Oh, probably like 4.
1, 2,
Five?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 monitors and my phone, and there's
Jeez.
a lot. Yeah, and then I have the stuff behind me. It's okay. There's only a few buttons. Like I told you earlier, I have 4 keyboards.
Oh man.
This is what it takes to put on the AFDL, and that's okay. That's okay.
No, I have my 2 monitors and that's about it. Living in a barracks room here in Korea, you don't get the biggest of desks. So it's the one thing I always ask for.
Not enough room for
Like
7 monitors,
ask
eh?
no. And
Slacking.
when I get back
Slacking.
stateside, it's gonna be I think I'll have like 5 when I get back stateside. So it'd be nice change. But
Very, very nice. All right, I have paid out the prediction from game 1. I am generating a prediction for game 2. I would
yeah, I'm
like to
putting all my
know
money.
who are Air Force diehards and who thinks that BAE is going to make a comeback.
I got my money on BAE. The Olaf's gonna go crazy.
All right.
We're gonna go to game
I'm
3.
going to even let this prediction run for a while. We're going to set it for 10 minutes. So you're even going to get
Okay.
to see the early game before you make your determination. Or you can just hit it
47.90.
now. How specific?
I put all.
You put all your points, eh?
I put 4,448 or 4,848.
Whoa.
That's how many I put.
Whoa.
I am the one person putting it on the BAE. I got
Damn,
my faith.
we
in
have a believer.
my brother's on the other side. See, I watch a lot of LCK, and my favorite team is Bro. Even though I'm wearing a bunch of T1 gear, I love Bro because I'm a Bro-lever because they are the best team of all time. So
I love
even though
the
they
way
don't win
you
any
just
game,
committed to that.
they don't win games, but I'm a Bro-lever. And I'm a BAE believer.
This is it. You're just bringing that positivity into the AFDL and assigning it to the first alliterative team you can find.
True. I'm just hoping for them to come back here.
I want to remind everybody, this is going to be game 2 of EU Week 1. For people who have been dropping in, who may have shown up halfway through the break in the middle of game 1, this is the AFDL. We are here for Warriors of the Rift, and tomorrow we go live again, but not with League of Legends. We have World of Warcraft all weekend long. The Mythic Plus Series Spring Clash will be taking place Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 5 hours of Mythic Plus keys each day. 11 teams will be going head to head, etc., to eke out the best times and improve their standings on the leaderboard. There's a lot going on with the AFDL. We will be back next week on Tuesday and again on Thursday. We have so much more to share with you guys. So we appreciate everybody who stops by the stream, who drops a follow, who drops a sub. Everything supports the AFDL so that we can continue to put on these events, and we love you for it. Thank you so much. I just gotta get that out. Just gotta get that out. I love when the team members who are benched come hang out and chat. It is one of my favorite things, I have to say, about the AFDL.
Yeah. It is nice seeing an active chat and being able to talk to them. I know when I was here on Tuesday, they were asking in chat, do people actually read the chat? And I was like, yes, I read the chat. Always here interacting with everyone.
It's great.
I'm the one running the chat. I'm the main spammer. I will spam all my emotes.
Brian is here
XDD.
in chat auditioning for the mod role. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
There it is. Okay. The loadout has been updated. It is Prey back in the jungle on Zyra. Ooh. I have faith. I don't know. Zyra and Sejuani, though. They, different.
Sejuani isn't but same. Different but same.
Exactly. It's different but same. Like, I feel like even though Sejuani can do a lot of the same things that Volibear does, when I play her, I tend to be a lot more reactive to my team. Like, Volibear wants to do Volibear things. Sejuani wants to do things that are going to make Sejuani look good by showing off for her entire team and making sure everybody's around when she does cool stuff. Like, there's less kind of solo pick potential, I would argue, on the Royal Air Force team because of that change. Like, yes, you have the Nautilus hook, but Shen's teleport is a follow-up maneuver. It's not going to typically be the thing that starts off your starts off your team
Your
fight the
fight.
way the Volibear dive would, right? I'm just going to backline you and go. Hui obviously is just going to sit in the back, do a lot of damage. Sivir is there because she just wants to bounce her boomerangs all over the entire place while she sits comfortably behind 3 frontline tanks. Meanwhile, the Lions, Olaf in the top lane has a lot of potential to just be that one-man, insane push.
Could be the one-man wrecking
But
crew.
yeah,
It's gonna be interesting to
absolutely.
see. The late game team fights are gonna be absolutely insane with the Olaf just being like, I want to take all the engage on me, and just run through everyone, and basically set up the Victor to be able to just clean up kills, the Zyra to clean up kills, the Ezreal to clean up kills, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome to
Here it
watch as we
is.
get into this game.
Royal Air Force versus British Army Esports Lions. This is game 2. Prey needs to have a stronger showing on Zyra. Can't be in the wrong place early on and get absolutely shut down. Steve on the Victor had a good showing last game. I wouldn't say it was, the decider for his team. He was able to get some good moments, and when a team fight did happen, he took advantage of it, but wasn't able, let's say, to show off everything that champion can do in the face of Ahri. Meanwhile, the Ezreal and Braum in the bot lane, switching up the carry, keeping the support. Pogre is down south now instead of in the top lane, and Grish has taken the top lane.
Yep, that's one of the swaps we had. We also had a swap for the RA or the BAE as well. Both teams had some player swaps come in for game 2. So they're basically saying, let me use my full 10-man roster and see if we can make some changes or still win.
Why not?
Yep. I'm here for it. I love running 10-man rosters. We run technically a 10-man roster on the Army Esports team, but we kind of do separate them just for different leagues, but we are running a 10-man right now. And this is the thing with the Braum early. It just throws a Q. Ezreal gets to stack that passive on the Q with his auto and his Q himself. So that's going to be a lot of poke that's just going to be scary for the Nautilus if he tries to hook in. Basically takes the hook, throws the Q. We're looking to have fun. Shen does win
Already,
this.
yeah, you say that, but Grish likes to play hard.
This should be a kill for Olaf in the top lane. Should be able to run him down. Oh, and he's not going to go for it. He's taking too many minions.
He's not going to do it. Yeah, the minions made a huge difference there, but Dom has used his potion. He's going to end up being higher health and force Grish to back. That might have been a little too aggressive.
Maybe, but the one thing with Olaf is his passive and basically life stealing up at that low health with the increased attack speed is just going to be able to let him stay in the lane and just look for the fight anyways. Because all he has to do is ding 3 and round 2, here we go. The electric boogaloo of the top lane fights.
Now, I actually think that Olaf is a pick specifically for Dom more than it is a pick for Shen. Hear me out. Pogre in the last game was the top laner and will clearly have been able to inform Grish, this is how Dom has been playing today. Dom was very much all right, if we're both standing here, I'm going to poke you. I'm going to play aggressive. My Shen is going to constantly be in your face because I know that I have enough health to just do some damage and walk away, and it's going to be fine. So choosing the Olaf makes a lot of sense to kind of punish that behavior and maybe throw Dom off of his game and playstyle. Prey walking in to try and get a gank, but isn't going to be able to secure it. The Hui walks away. Has to burn the flash, but his teammates, Big K-Dog and Striz and the Sejuani all trying to maneuver themselves up into the mid lane and make something happen off the back of it, but the disengage was too early. There was no potential for them. Now they're all just hanging out in the bot lane. I want to watch... Oh, we're waiting for a gank in the bot, and meanwhile, Prey is going to get caught in top river. Luckily not going to end up as a kill, but do they go for the fight in bot lane? Is this going to happen? It is not.
No, it's
Wildman backs.
Wave's in a weird spot. They're playing too safe here on the bot lane. I think also if if Sejuani was to fight in that, I still think it's a 2v3 win for Royal Air Force. The Braum is just so strong in these matchups where he just basically can just go around tagging everyone, and the Ezreal will just be able to free hit as he wants throughout all of them. So they're not going to be able to stick onto the Ezreal with his blink and everything.
I agree. But I think there's always a possibility there because you have the Nautilus hook as well. If Sejuani can get past Braum's shield, Q into Ezreal, do the knockup, which chains into the Nautilus hook, that disrupts him long enough for Sivir to get decent damage across both of them that it can just... It can cause you to panic because even though now everyone's used their kit and the damage is kind of going to slow down for a bit, it can be a lot very quickly. There's the Nautilus hook, manages to catch Ezreal out of position, but as we said, Sivir is having to walk straight forward. Ezreal casts barrier, does not have that summoner. Meanwhile, Pogri is going to flash.
Oh, gets the first blood with the flash Q.
Of Striz gets the first blood, and Big K Dog is now stuck alone. That was really well played.
Yep.
That was really well played by the BAE team.
Yep. No, we're gonna see them. They might try to take an early drag here, but the only things they gotta worry about is they got timers they have to worry about. 9-inch doesn't have as much mana as you want, but they do have Prio in the mid lane. They're already taking it down pretty low. Sejuani's gonna come in looking for it. Can't be slowed on anything. Nautilus hook lands, and oof, this should be feats here. Should be, but they're just gonna leash the dragon for him. And just go.
Wei decides that is the time. Manages to pick up a couple kills. Honestly, RAF only has the one death right now, but their kills are on their carries, and that's a nice place to be. Hui and Sivir both with one each. Meanwhile, the kill for BAE is on the Braum.
Yep, and Braum's gonna utilize that kill to get those mobility boots and basically being like, I'm gonna reset as often as possible and try to be around the map for all the fights. We see that the Royal Air Force is just going right into the grubs. They only got to get one and just walk away. That's all they need to do.
Oh, Chris gets tagged, but Stiz is there to take some pressure off. Steve gonna just poke. That Victor laser is not, something to scoff at. And the disengage does come through. Meanwhile, BAE is going to cycle up to try and deal with Wildman. They don't want that 6th grub going to the Royal Air Force. Chris is still a little bit low. This is risky, but Nautilus gets the engage on Pogri, and there is not enough damage from the team to follow it up.
The flash forward from the Sivir.
But isn't gonna get it. The flash comes in. Olaf is getting ready to chase, decides not to chase Stiz. His teammates are there to help, but nobody's got enough poke. All their abilities are on cooldown. Sure, Stiz might die, but Pogri is low. This could be a 1-for-1.
Oh, he's
and
not gonna die.
Nobody is going to die. Not a single death from that exchange right there. What the heck?
The Hui went down.
Didn't Hui technically go down in the previous exchange?
No. He went down in that fight. The Olaf came around and cleaned him up. Basically, he pressed R and just was like, "I'm running full face at you." So, but we do see the trade of the 1-for-1 on the grubs. So at least RAF is denying them to stack on getting that grub, and so is BAE. So it's gonna come down to second drag and second grub spawn. In terms of who's going to get the feat for the objectives.
Did that 6th grub die?
The 3rd one? No, has not died.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I can't count today.
It's all good. Even my solo queue games, I can't track which grubs it's on. I always think it's Rift at 5 minutes.
Always.
It's not a It's one of the issues I have.
Look, I never get to take grubs because every time I cycle top, my top laner never comes down to help me. So, sucks to be me. I would love to kill a grub one day as a jungler.
Yeah. See, they're going to shove this wave in, and then they're going to clear out the grubs. The last grub here. Ezreal's sitting there in the mid wave just catching that.
I was about to say Prey's about to walk into walk into Pogri, but they're both on the same team, so that's actually a great idea. Prey playing really smart right here with the Zyra, standing beside his tank.
Now, the big thing is Ezreal is on a power spike here. He does have his Sheen completed, so we're going to look for him to start doing massive amounts of damage with his Q. In terms of he can just negate the Nautilus shield at any point in time now. It's basically just free damage. And then he's also going to be able to just sit there and hit long range Qs, and then that secondary auto is just going to do so much damage on the follow-up.
Stiz manages to get a clean hook onto Pogri, but with Ezreal coming around the corner, they decided it is not worth chasing. Hui hanging out in the bot lane with Steve. Again, these teams, you know, really like to send their mid laners to the bot side and their duos to the mid, but, you know, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, it's more or less they're just trying to make sure they have that mid prio so they can go and rotate to those neutral objectives, and being able to have the threat of, okay, if our mid laner is bot lane, he's going to meet for drag and keep that push in, and if you send your mid laner to catch the mid wave, as we have an ADC who can just freely push on that mid wave, you're just basically saying you're giving up so much. Oh, that hook hits through the wall.
Stiz once again with a hook, and this time the Sejuani is there to follow up. Wildman gets the kill on Pogri, but Ezreal gets away clean.
Yeah, and that should turn into Drake here in 30 seconds. They have the setup for it. We got a pool noodle slap in the top lane. Just out here slapping each other, seeing who can do the least amount of damage through each auto.
It is my favorite thing about top laners. It really is. Especially when you've got that sort of like bruisery tanky meta.
Mm-hmm. No, that's the one thing I love about playing top lane, is just being able to sit there and just you go, okay, I'm just gonna slap you and you slap me.
Steve walks forward without someone to stand in front of him and gets caught, but it is Stiz who's gonna take the most amount of damage in that exchange. Steve and Ezreal are both low. Finally, Hui comes in and manages to pick up Pogri. Meanwhile, Pogri takes down Wildman. It's a free-for-all of murder down here. Grish is able to pick up Big K-Dog, which is a nice help for him, now 2-0 against his lane opponent. But Chris, look at Chris just hanging out, trying to find someone. He knows the BAE team is low. He just can't find them.
So
it wasn't enough to stop the recall.
No. Big thing is the Olaf is starting to get big. He's already on a completed item, and he's at his first item power spike. It's now going to be, does RAF have an answer to the Olaf who's going to just run at your carries and basically put them into a hole of, I got to not be able to attack in the fight and play 3 screens away to make his ult useless. So let's see if they actually have an answer for it.
Stiz with another hook onto Pogri. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that in this game, but Big K-Dog is left without much in the way of defense. Does manage to get a little bit of damage, but it is a 4v3 for BAE. Pogri is low, but it is Stiz who goes down first, and there's just not enough follow-up. Big K-Dog tries to run away, but isn't able to save his Wildman when he turns around, and that's going to be a clean dragon for BAE. This is definitely what I was expecting going into Game 2. I said it that BAE was going to be hungry after the unexpected return victory from RAF, and they have proven it. I think the team comps in this situation make a lot more sense. They're playing into the play style of their team earlier in the game. You know, we spent the first almost 20 minutes of Game 1 just kind of in this cheeky little balancing act where nobody really had the tempo to make moves. This time, BAE is like, all right, let's fight. We're going. We know what we're doing. We just need to commit and we need to go. Ezreal is going to be
nice
away,
hook
but
prediction.
does get picked up. Skiz with the predictive hook. Unfortunately, Ezreal still lives. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so close. But that is going to give them the free grubs pressure that they want. They're going to be able to just turn this right into a grubs play, pushing that Ezreal off. Olaf's going to maybe look over, but no, he's looking to hold that top wave and just make sure he doesn't lose his
Kempy's
tower.
Ezreal. Okay, Kempy's Ezreal so far has been a very, very lucky. Whether it's luck, whether
Yes.
it's skill, I don't know what you want to call it, but he has gotten out by the skin of his teeth so many times in this game alone. Greesh is up there trying to duel Dom, and the rest of the RAF team is like, hey, excuse me, you want to bully our top laner? We have something to say about that. Prey trying to, be present and hold this tower. I don't know that that's going to go well. They've got a fully teamed up. Yeah, there it is. You have a Shen, you have a Sejuani, you have a Nod. Like, you are not going to live. That is a tower dive recipe for success.
Yep, and that's going to be feats over to the Royal Air Force. They're taking first turret, and they got the first 3 kills of the game, so they now got those upgraded boots, and they're looking just to see what they can do with it. We do have a trade on the bot side where they did get bot turret in exchange for the top side turret, but they lost 2, and they lost 3 grubs there, so we are going to have the grubs voidling spawning with RAF's push. Big thing that helped them last game with that turnaround and in winning that game is being able to have that 4+ grubs and just being able to say, okay, we can end the game once we get a good team fight.
Striz whiffs the hook onto Kempi. You know what I really enjoy, Brian? I enjoy what I like to call conspiracy theory analytics in video games. The things where you look at a stat and you're like, this is not going to be useful information, but you can pretend that it is. So I have one for you now, since this team fight is going to be a wash anyway. In the last game, RAF successfully took the tier 1 top turret, and BAE successfully took the bot turret. So clearly, that means that this game is going to follow the same pattern, and we will have a BAE victory. But
yes,
in the
I am
last
here for
game,
that conspiracy.
it was red team that took the tier 1 turret in top lane, and it was blue team that took the tier 1 turret in bot lane, and therefore, it clearly means that we will see a red team victory. Or sorry, an RAF victory. So
no, it's gonna. You had
know.
it right the first time. It's gonna be a BAE victory. They just picked up Rift Herald. They're gonna look to open up the map in mid lane with that Rift Herald, with that drag spawning in a minute 30. So we should see their back timers coming in now to get that vision reset, being able to pick up pinks, pick up vision, and basically set a vision line, pick a fighting line, and fight for this next dragon that's coming up, which it is Ocean Dragon. And it is going to be Ocean Soul this game. With his Ocean Soul on Olaf is so good, especially once he hits that 2-item power spike and has the ability to just be, I ignore everybody and I'm just going to full heal no matter what. As he's doing now, he's just running at you, basically saying, I can eat your damage. Got Pogger here just clearing out vision, trying to set vision. You got the Hui scouting for vision here with his kit. Get the flash
with the flash hook, and it
Stiz, what are we doing?
On nothing. Gets counter grabbed by Prey. I don't know what that was.
That was a desperate play, looking for a desperate entrance to basically secure that dragon.
Like, you've got
Prey
20
here should be
seconds
looking
until
to drop.
dragon is up. Why would that have been the time?
It's just looking to set him on a reset timer to basically say, like, hey, you guys can't join in on this fight. If we can get a pick on one person, it just makes it harder for you guys to walk in and check on us.
Sure, but was running up into the mid lane and flash hooking the way to get that pick when you had other options? I don't think so. I think that was a miscommunication of some sort. That was a choice. Let's just say.
Yes, that was.
BAE does have the positional supremacy here. Looking at the dragon, Hui has some vision, but top laners doing top lane things out on their island.
Just making sure that
teleports are up.
We should see Prey drop that Rift Herald mid and just look to pressure them, so they have to respond to one or the other. But it looks like they're just going to start up the dragon here, and they're just going to say, okay, we'll 50-50 it. Now the one thing we have to do is the Olaf has no way to interrupt the Shen ult, so if the Shen decides to go in, like, there's no way he can stop
battle.
it.
And Wildman gets it. I saw
out.
that coming. When Sejuani walked up behind the wall, I knew it was going to be a smite steal attempt. Prey is not quick enough on the uptick. It sat at low health for just too long, and all of BAE's hard work to secure that dragon pit is for nothing.
Yeah. They just basically have done it again. They just leashed the dragon for RAF. Just being like, yeah, we'll let you guys enter onto this. They just take it from us. It's the second one they've done that too. Just a misplay. They should have dropped a Rift into the mid lane and just had them force it into it. Now we do have a TP coming in on the bot lane. It's a little late. The Victor is going to fall. But we do have the Olaf who's basically going to just run at everyone.
And that's what he does. He takes down Wildman, a great one to be, but gets taken down in turn by Dom. Dom gets taken down by Pogri, and meanwhile, Prey is there to take down Chris. It's just a wild exchange back and forth. And the sad thing is that BAE haven't even committed their full 5-man. Campy is still hanging out in the mid lane.
Yeah.
RAF wants to get these revenge kills. They're going to dive the Pogri. I don't know. The flash comes out. Sivir does manage to clean it up. They're going to have the great wave clear there, but the teleport comes in, so this turret is safe for now. Big K-Dog needs to get out of the way. Steve is going to chase them. Quick tag with the laser from Victor, but it's not enough. Not yet bursty. That was a wild series of exchanges.
Yeah, it's a lot of trades for TPs. Now we got to do have to think now in the next upcoming objective fight, which is most likely gonna be for Otacon. You got to think the Olaf is gonna have to position himself on the bot side. Victor's gonna have to position himself on the bot side. They both don't have TP. The Shen has TP, so the Shen can just sit top lane, shove that wave in, and basically go, I'm taking this, and you guys can't respond to the 5v4 that's gonna happen at Otacon.
Greesh is hungry. He wants to take down Chris. Chris is not tanky enough to survive if Greesh puts his mind to it, and boom. The kill ends up going to Steve, which will make them happy. Olaf already has 4 kills of his own. Fair enough to share. But the entire BAE team is there to support, and that's going to be an Otacon quick grab from them. There's no way Sivir can get there in a reasonable amount of time to respond on her own. Wildman is too far away.
Now the big thing here is this is the GA Otacon, so we should be looking for BAE to look to take a fight here at the should be at Baron, and basically say we want to fight you and we don't care. We're gonna look to just blow all your sums, all your ults, and just win the next fight after that directly 15 seconds later. So they're going to play hyper aggressive here with this GA Otacon.
I'd like to bring up the fact that Kempi is still potentially very dangerous. He has not been the star of his team, right, so far, just, you know, by pure virtue of Broloff do Broloff things. But he's sitting at 105. He hasn't died. He's been participating in a lot of fights, and he's still a primary target, but he's a slippery target that RAF has not managed to lock down long enough for a kill. Hui is probably going to be the only one who can burst him as the game goes on. But with the 2-on-1 happening in top lane, Greesh is going to wallop Dom. Says, Prey, look, Dom just keeps running away from me. Can you, like, come hold my hand for a moment? Prey says, yeah, no problem, dude. I got you. Greesh says, thanks. I'm going to make it count. Gets the kill. Great jungler top lane interaction. Mwah, mwah. Chef's kiss. We move on.
Yeah, and I do want to touch back on that Ezreal point. He is sitting on 2 manas, full mirror mana stacked, and he should be outputting a lot of damage in these upcoming team fights. And being even before the team fight happens, all the poke that he'll be able to do, it's just going to be so much in terms of just making sure that if they do try to step forward, he's just going to sit there and go, I can do 20% of your health bar with 1 WQ. So
will we see a repeat? It is an 100%. Ocean Drake, and
this is BAE
wants to fight it, but can Wildman go for the steal? I love it when you've got 2 pink wards and it's just whoever gets there first. Stiz, sitting in the front line, trying to position himself for a grab, knows that Kempe is coming up behind them. Teleport comes in from Grish.
So yeah, they're just gonna push them off, and they're gonna just make the trade of, okay, we'll give you mid prio, and just we'll take the drag. Let's see.
Electing not to bother
now,
trying to steal this one just to take the turret. Do they have the ability to turn around? Of course,
now the
Dom does
GA
have
has
his
fallen
ultimate.
off.
Stiz is gonna go down.
Off here.
There's just not enough damage coming out. Big K Dog has to keep running away or risk getting face rolled by Olaf, and because of that, isn't able to do almost any auto attack damage. You know, that was a quick Q cast and run. There was almost zero output from the RAF team in that fight. I do not know what the thought process was choosing to go for mid lane if you don't have the power to back it up when your opponents come charging up behind you.
Yeah, I think it was just a mistiming of, they thought they had time with the wave and the wave clear from the Sivir and the Hwei, but they just couldn't get there in time with the how fast Zyra can take neutral objectives. And when Ezreal's sitting already on 2 completed items, working almost towards his 3rd, like they just nuke any neutral objective at this point. So that was just kind of a mistiming of what they wanted to do. They delayed it for too long. Olaf's on 3 items. Olaf's gonna be scary in these upcoming team fights. They should honestly just force a Baron fight here. They should literally just force a Baron fight. They should push mid wave in and just go, okay, take Baron. That's all they should do.
Momentum is definitely on the side of BAE. They have Zyra, they have Olaf, they have Ezreal. There's a lot of damage on the BAE team, and it's a lot of damage that can happen very quickly. Unfortunately, with the 3 tank setup, Dom, Wildman, and Stiz, that takes time for them to become the impenetrable wall that they eventually will. And so you see Wildman gets grabbed, and he gets shredded by the BAE team. Grish is just walking straight in. Like, yes, he's got health, you know, the Heartsteel is there, but you don't have enough armor yet, you don't have enough MR yet. Let alone your support doesn't have anything. Your Shen has the Heartsteel, starting to build some armor, has the Titan's Hydra, but like, you know, when there's that much damage coming at you, 1 tank dies quickly, 3 tanks take time, but you have to all be there, you have to all be ready, and that's an easy Baron for BAE.
Yep, and RAF is going to get the trade. They are going to get the mid-tier 2 taken. They are going to rotate down into the bot lane. They do have 4 grubs, so they can take towers pretty quickly, but I think at this point they're just being greedy here if they stay for the second tier 2. They're just got to shove the wave in, back, and reset. They're wasting too much time in terms of if they got to fully walk out at this point. They're about to get jumped on. Yep. The Olaf's going to press R. They're just going to run down the Nautilus here.
This is
Olaf is
momentum.
Just getting bigger and bigger.
Look, as long as we don't disconnect here and come back to find an RAF upset, we are going to be going to a game 3. So I believe.
Oh, you just cast
I think this bot tower is going to die. I think that mid lane is going to continue to just exist. Hwei and Ezreal have spent more time in each other's company than I think with the rest of their team. But BAE has it. They've got some momentum. Yep. They just need to keep it going.
Yep, and I'm hoping for my channel points that BAE wins this. I'm a believer, as they said.
I appreciate that when the directed camera doesn't really know where to talk to, it's just like, oh, let's go watch some jungle camps get cleared. It's like, all right, we can either watch people run back to lane or we can watch some raptors. I don't know which of those 2 things is more riveting as a spectator experience. I suppose it depends on what role you play in the game itself. Grish is alone in the top lane.
Yeah, and now the big thing here is they got to utilize they have to utilize their Baron buff. Like if we look at how it's being utilized, it's like they're not really pushing in their waves. They're just kind of like letting RAF stall out their Baron. They should overload either 4 mid, 3 mid, and just walk these waves into these turrets and let those cannon minions basically free hit for fun. We're gonna get this should be a dead. One more auto. Yep.
Yeah, that's a quick takedown on Stiz. I will say, Bumbla in chat has a wonderful pun. You know I always appreciate a good pun. There's no way RAF can bring this one back. I read that. It made me bristle.
That is a good one. Here, see, now they're utilizing it. They're looking, Shen's on the top side. He's looking for a way in, but they're just got to make sure they just stay near the wave, keep the Baron on it, and it will eventually take down these turrets. They are setting up for the Dragon here that has spawned. And let's see if Wildman can do Wildman things and just steal another one. Oh, they look for the pick on the Ez, but the Ez is so slippery, it's a wasted effort. Let's see, they're gonna
going in on the
here.
Greesh, using your entire bit of CC.
Oh,
Look,
Big K.
Kempy is
Flash
probably
forward.
gonna. Yeah, okay, that does go in RAF's favor. Kempy just a little bit too aggressive there.
Oh, and he gets the steal!
Wildman with the steal. That's 2 dragons to RAF that really shouldn't have been. I think RAF's going to turn around and say, I'm sorry, you want our dragon? I don't think so. But Gresh is going to go down. They don't have the ability to 1v3 just yet. Stiz trying to keep Prey locked up so that his team can turn around and take it. Chris gets the kill. That was an emotional follow-up to that dragon. That was absolutely a moment of, oh my god, they got the steal, and everybody's emotions were riding higher than their logic to stick around for that mess of a follow-up.
Oh man, I think we're caster cursing. Okay, so RAF here is gonna win this game. I'm trying to cancel out the counter curse here. Need to cancel the caster curses that we've imposed on BAE. I need my channel points are on it. I need them to win.
Hey,
no,
you've got plenty of opportunities to get more channel points. We've got 6 weeks of Warriors of the Rift. Next week, there's another North American match on Tuesday, another European match on Thursday. You can rack up more channel points in no time.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for it. I'm trying to hit the 1 billion channel points. I'm close in some channels I watch. But the RAF
Glorious.
is actually hitting their scaling points. Siver's on 3 items, almost 4. Siver's about to get really scary in these team fights when she's just free hitting between everyone. It's can the Olaf get to the Siver and just shut her down?
That's exactly it. In previous fights we saw, the tanks just weren't able to stay alive quite long enough for Big K-Dog to get in position and actually start doing damage. Now, that's starting to change. Her front line is able to be a brick wall for just a little bit longer, which means she can spend less time running away and more time auto-attacking a grouped BAE. Because that's really what their comp wants to do. Olaf wants to get right in your face. Victor, not terribly long range. Ezreal, not terribly long range. Braum, right in your face. Those are beautiful targets for Sivir to be attacking, but she has to feel comfortable standing in one place to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the big thing is, can she free hit? And if she's allowed to free hit, she's just going to walk all over him at this point. She's just basically going to negate everything all the armor that you have built up, which, if we look at them, the only people who are really building armor is the Braum. Olaf has no armor on him. He's just got health and MR, no armor. So he's just going to be taking a lot of damage from that Sivir free hit. So, do you see Stiz getting caught out here by a Zyra root?
I wasn't sure how I felt about the Sivir pick during the pick ban phase. K-Dog's Ashe in the last game was not, terribly special. There really wasn't. It wasn't a playmaker, let's say. It wasn't the deciding factor for their team in the last game. Sivir is definitely doing a better job just being present in these fights, but I don't know that that's down to the champion pick. I think that's more just down to Big K-Dog is playing around his team better. Like, his physical movement on the map is improved from game 1 and his positioning in team fights. I don't know whether we see a change up in game 3 or not. The Jinx was banned. this time, so it wasn't available. Would Sivir... I still don't know that Sivir is... Like, it's not doing them bad, so I can't complain. I just find it an interesting choice of AD carry for this team.
Yeah, it's just they want to. I think the big thing with the Sivir is just utilizing her ult. They just want to be able to disengage the fight and have a way out, and basically say
Here we go. Stiz gets grabbed. Pogri and Broloff are both there. Gresh is just gonna chase. Chris is in position to try and poke them away. It looks like it's gonna work. As long as nobody stays too long, they will get out of this scot-free. Of course, all this posturing around the Baron pit benefits BAE, who has, you know, a 1.3k gold lead, so not crazy significant, but reasonable, and all it will take is one good fight for them to make massive progress into the RAF base.
Yeah, they're just literally one good team fight away from just opening up this game and make it very hard for RAF to stay in it.
Gresh
we do have Dragon spawning in 14 seconds.
Manages to dodge the hook, makes a big difference, and in return, Prey roots Stiz. Not a priority target, but, you know, a little bit of poke damage can go a long way once a team fight does break out. The Drake has arrived onto the bot side river, and everyone's just trying to find an engage. Stiz does get it. He manages to hook Pogri. Steve is off in the background. Dom goes over the wall to try and take him out in blue pit. Steve forced to flash. Meanwhile, Gresh gets a pickup on Stiz and on Wildman, just rolling through the enemy team. Steve is going to get taken down as Dom dives the backline once again. Again, sticking with Gresh, trying to do some damage. Flashes over the wall himself, manages to just get away, but Chris is nowhere near enough to help. That's going to be a death from Dom. Chris was not with his team. This is a risky play. It's worth trying, but the inevitable ward is going to come. You could see Braum using his Oracle to just... Oh, unfortunate, but Prey gets the dragon. We're not going to have a third steal. It was worth a try, Chris, but realistically, I think that fight, RAF misplayed.
Yep. They just had to not walk into them. They just had to play back, play to their strength, and not press the go button instantly. They had their go time was while the Olaf's ult was down, but since his ult came back up at the beginning of that fight, it's just Olaf was able to just go, I'm running forward at everyone and gonna hit everyone at once. So he was able to dive onto the back line and just hit everyone, hit the priority targets that he needed to, keep his ult stacked up, and just keep running everyone. Now we're gonna see BAE basically start to set up the Baron dance.
Yeah. Dom did a really good job of counter diving. Like, he constantly got onto Steve as soon as Steve was in range, but he didn't have anyone with whom, no one on the RAF team had a long enough range or was in position to take advantage of that. So, I don't know how this Baron fight is going to need to be different from RAF, but one, Stiz can't keep getting caught, and two, RAF has to go into this fight on their terms, when they're ready, when their players are in position. Otherwise, look, Olaf's ult is going to be back up again. Like, there's...
They should literally just face roll your team. This bot side. Oh, we have a fight going on, I think, in the mid lane. Probably a miss hook.
We have the idea of a fight going on in mid line. Kempi, of course, takes a little bit of poke. Still only one death from Kempi, 319. The Ezreal has just not been a decision-making pick. For teams that have been prioritizing bot lane picks so early in the pick ban phase, it surprises me how, I don't want to say ineffectual, but it surprises me how ineffectual their bot lanes have been in making the the decisions for team fights.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. Like, okay, so they should look here. Olaf's going to look for the Q poke. They should literally just turn and just force this Baron fight. Make them walk into you. You got, like, they can two-man Baron with Olaf and Syra. Like, they should just take it. They should stop doing this dilly-dally and just take it.
I don't know whether their concern is Wildman.
Oh,
Okay, the
flash.
flash from Stiz, but again, another flash Q that doesn't land, and Wildman's ult also
They're
doesn't
gonna
land.
hit him. They're gonna
They
get him.
manage to get the chase. They get Kempy. That was a lot committed for a single kill on a carry. Pogri is in the neighborhood, uses his ultimate to help with some disengage. Steve is now cycled back into mid lane. RAF just needs to get this turret down, but if they're not careful, they'll lose their lives in the process. Stiz is low, Chris is low, Big K Dog is low, Steve's laser will do a good chunk of damage, but it's on just a long enough cooldown, and Prey is not in position to get a pick.
Gresh is still pushing top lane. They're gonna chase this Olaf down. Or
we are
Olaf
going
is
to
now TPing
backdoor City. The TP
comes
out, Pogri manages to just survive, and Olaf is going to run down mid. Steve does get that kill, but Gresh doesn't care. He says, I see you, and I'm coming for you. And if that means I take some minions along the way, I guess that's fine too.
Just a little bit of an overstay there. They should have... Honestly, the Olaf should have just kept pushing. He should have taken that top end hit
I was surprised by the TP.
That they have... Yeah, he should have just taken it. Like, they had... As long as BAE was just pushing them out, like, they should have just taken it. But now they're going to turn that tempo into a Baron take. And they should be able to get this easily. What they should not be pulling off this. Scuttle's
Steve
not worth it.
and Prey were both there to stall RAF's back. Gresh could have taken that inhibitor and still teleported in that amount of time. It probably still would have resulted in this Baron. So possibly not an ideal play. They do have vision of the Baron kill, but BAE is now up 6 kills and 5.6 thousand gold.
Yep, and now they got to make sure they use this Baron buff to make sure they keep priority on the mid lane. In terms of, they have supers being pushed in on them, but with that Baron buff, they should be able to negate that and just walk these lanes in. The only thing they got to be is, this is going to be soul. This fight is for soul. Actually, it could be for the end of the game if we really think about it. They do tag
Stiz
Nautilus
gets
with the
slowed.
Q.
Gresh is going to say, okay,
Yep,
I don't care that you're
Stiz is gone.
We're just going to burst you. Brahm's ultimate, used mostly for zoning, doesn't actually hit anybody. No critical target.
Gresh needs the
is
back.
there.
Gresh needs the back. He's like 4 seconds too late on this back. He almost got canceled by that dragon.
We've got Dom going for the top inhib. You wanted the back door? Well, RAF can try and backdoor too. Meanwhile, the rest of the RAF team is poking their hearts out. Steve gets a little low.
He's gonna steal this.
Just shoot some lasers.
He's gonna steal this.
Wildman walks up and does not manage to steal. They do get a couple of kills off it, so potentially worth the trade, but look at that huge amount of damage. Kempy manages to chunk Chris. That was practically a 2-shot. Kempy is online. Like we said, he hasn't been a decision maker so far in the game, but that alone is just realized if you leave him alive now, he's got, what, 4 items, working on his 5th? He will just eat your carry if you let him.
Yep, and now they're just going to sit here. They got to push in, but with BAE still having Baron buff on, and now that they have Ocean Soul, they do have a win con here. They can they stall out for 5 minutes and waiting for Elder Dragon to spawn? If they can wait out for 5 minutes and just get to Elder and flip the Elder, they could win the game here. They just need to flip it. They are going to push down and walk it.
Wildman is not in a great spot. Tanky you may be, but between Gresh and Steve.
This Sivir just one-shots.
That's not going to be enough. Yes, Gresh has a lot of health. He's going to manage to take down Stiz, but he's fighting 2 mega tanks, and Sivir is over the wall doing some extra AoE. Big K Dog picks that one up, and Royal Air Force is going to go for the push. Are we going to see another upset? Is BAE just suffering with performance anxiety here? And that's going to be Sejuani's ult to lock down Prey. Kempy is alive.
They do have 4 grubs.
Pogri
they can end. They have 4 grubs. They have a wave.
The Braum ult does go down on all 3 team members, but Kempy is too vulnerable. Gets dived by Dom and gets picked off. That is going to be RAF with another upset turnaround to take game 2 and win the series.
Oh man, we caster cursed them.